Hello, Married at First Sight family. Yes, we're a family because we're the people we were watching almost every year. And I say almost because I started from the beginning, but I had to stop for a while because I just really, like most of us, I'm just irritated by what the experts do. I mean, it's like the people say what they want. It's like, you got these people and you're thinking they're looking out for your best interest. They're supposed to be like your friend or a family member helping you find someone and set you up with this perfect match. But beyond setting you up with a perfect match, you're marrying this person without ever having seen them. I mean, this is the most deranged marriage situations. And this person takes you like a Shakespearean play. What was it? A Midsummer's Night's Dream, where Puck, this little nymph, goes around and uses his wand and makes people, it's like a Cupid, but it's Shakespeare, so it's not that. But he uses his magical powers and he makes these odd couples get married. It's more like that. It's like it's a joke to him to see these people that in these situations where the odd couples get married, fall in love, and they're hopelessly in love. And it's like that. Instead of them taking your best interest at heart, it seems like they're taking this as a joke and putting you together. And then one of the things that I thought about just recently, and I said, well, no one can find a perfect person for you because there's no such thing as a perfect person. Your perfect person is going to have something that will be considered as a flaw in your concept of thought that's going to not make them perfect. Like, for instance, if you watch that show about Love is Blind and these people met and, one couple did come out of it because they, I think, didn't limit themselves by certain physical attributes. Because I think that's what it always ends up being. You want this person to be nice, kind, hardworking, a Christian or not a Christian or whatever faith you are or whatever the situation is. But I don't know of a lady who ever says she wants a short man. Or a guy who says he wants a fat woman or something like that, So that person that you want that's perfect for you may not come in the body form that you think they should or that you would desire. So, and I was thinking about this and I was like, well, they're not doing anything any differently than if you would have picked someone yourself. Except for the fact that they're picking them for you based on what they think is best for you, even though they know what you say you want. Because a lot of times, if you look at couples, you'll think, wait, how did they end up together? Like some people probably would think that about my husband and myself. We've been together this year, July 29th. The reason that was a slip there is because I have an auntie that's born on July 27th. And I've known her for all of these forever. But my husband and I, we're going to be married for 20 years, and after having dated for 2. But the point of what I'm going to say is there are a lot of things that he and I are different, totally different on. Just some opinions, some ways we live our lives is totally different. Totally, if anybody had thought to put it together, would not have put us together. But hey, here we go. 20 years is on the right. Well, we've been together over 20 years. So hey, there you go. So I say that to say that there probably is no way that these experts could get somebody with another person and every condition of what you want is met. Because probably is not a person out there, because if they would, God would have put you with them. Like, let's say you found a guy that was so handsome and you thought it would work out and it didn't. The guy that you thought had everything you wanted, but it didn't work out. Because a lot of times, if there's a person that has something that you want, they're having to work at it. They're having to do something to work at it. If they're rich, they got to go out and work, and they probably have to work a lot. If they're in good physical shape, they probably have to go work out a lot at the gym, and they probably have to eat a certain way, and you may not want to eat that way. You might not want to do it that way. And so, what do? Go on Married at First Sight? That seems like what's happening, because I tell you, if anybody has watched one episode, okay, I'll give it 2 episodes, you see that the experts aren't finding you what you want. So, you're not finding what you want. So just throw the cards up in the air and just let them land and pick one. That's what people used to say to me when I was waiting to get married and finding a good guy. Just pick one. It's like you can't just pick one. You have to try to pick somebody who's compatible with you in some ways. So even though I say my husband and I are different, something that we have in common that's very important to me and to him is our beliefs, our faith, and Jesus Christ as Lord, as our Savior, and wanting to raise our children up with that belief. And so, if for no other reason that we continue to stay married, that's going to be number 1. Excuse me, I'm having an asthma attack. So I haven't fallen out and died. I just went and got my asthma pump. Boop, 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 boop. I don't usually do a lot of talking. So I guess my lung capacity is saying, hey, wait, you're exceeding capacity. You're exceeding capacity. I sit around here all day at work, and I'm in training. And I'm working from home. So I'm not really having a situation where I'm talking to people a whole lot. And so here I go. Bam. And I mean, I have a husband, I have children, but he's at work. And by the time he sleeps and wakes up, we're talking a little, but we'll probably talk when he gets off from work, which will be probably about 10:30 tonight or 12:30, just depending on if he does overtime. So anyway, let's get into seeing who these people are and why they've been put together, and determining if we think it's going to last, if any. Did any of them last season? After everything was said and done? No. So anyway, have any lasted? Yes. And there are some children. So we're going to have hope while we're entertained. Okay, so we have 5 couples. Now, y'all, I know there are plenty of ways to do this. But this is the way I'm doing it. I'm laughing at myself because I thought about doing a PowerPoint presentation. I've thought of going through Microsoft Teams. Google has something like Teams that I started to do, and so I was like, anyway, this is going to work out great for all of us because I don't think anybody's going to complain, especially with some of the other things I've seen out in our, atmosphere of bloggers or creators. Okay, so anyway, the first one we got here, and I got this information from the site, and I just kind of put it into a document, inserted these pictures into a document from one of the sites. I think it's probably Lifetime. This is Lindsay and Mark. Okay, they say Lindsay is 34, and I'm going to slide down and just kind of read to you what it says. Okay, it says she's 34 and has always looked to a grandparents' relationship. They've been married for more than 70 years, having learned a lot from past relationships. Lindsay knows both what she wants and what she brings to the table. She firmly believes that the experts will be able to find her not just a man, but a partner in life. Then Mark, he's 37, has wanted to be married his entire life and has been on multiple dating apps. But meeting women who aren't ready to be a wife is frustrating for him. He's nicknamed Mark the Shark. He even applied for Marriage at First Sight the last time the experts were in Boston, and he feels that Marriage at First Sight is destined to be his ticket to love. He's hopeful he'll finally get the answer to the question he's been asking for a while. Now, Miss Shark, where are you? So, they look like a lovely couple that look like they've been married for at least 5 to 10 years and have a beautiful home and children and pets. but they're not. They just got married recently and probably are divorced by now. Just because, of course, we don't always get to see the show until after everything's recorded. So, what I would say about this couple is what I just said. They look like any couple that could make it. But it really is just going to come down to a choice. Now, from what the information that we got about Lindsay, she's a girl whose mother has abandoned her. And she's been raised by her dad and a brother. And I say by the brother also because your siblings, they almost do as much raising of you as your parents do. So, if you got two men raising a girl, you're going to have a girl that thinks like a man. She's going to go through life processing life like a man because he's influenced a lot of her thoughts. Now she can operate well in the world that way. You got some girls whose mothers are like, just kind of hardcore. But she's going to have thought processes of a man. She's going to do things like a man. She's going to be probably quick to make decisions. We saw that, should I say she drinks like a man? I don't know if that's a term to say, but she drank a lot and laid around on the bench and places a lot, which a man can do, but a lady cannot. And if her dad probably knew that all of this was going to happen and that she's probably doing this, he probably would have pulled some woman in to try to help teach her how to be a woman. And maybe he did. But and I'm not judging, well, I am. But I'm not trying to say that how she was raised was wrong, because I know girls who have a mom in the home, but the dad has to do a lot of taking care of them. And so they tend to process things like a man would, and a little more harsher to me because I'm a girly girl. I mean, I know I don't do the nails, but I do like my hair and all that stuff and the clothes. But I don't do nails because I got hands like a man. Got them from my daddy. So anyway, but it's probably gonna take. It's probably gonna be different for a guy to have a woman like that around. Now, Mark seems to be a hyperactive guy. And she seems to be a hyperactive girl. So I would think that these two are the most perfect couple. Except a lot of times people who are that kind of hyper and high-strung type people can't deal with another person being just like them. And so I think what would probably happen is he just can't stand her because she's like him. She's just like him. And it's going to probably make it difficult for him to stay in a relationship with her. Now, something I have to say about the experts that I think is not right. They keep putting these people, I think you can't put just people that just got simple, uncomplicated lives together and put them on these shows. I mean, you got a lady, like I said, whose mom abandoned her, and a guy who's now, I mean, the life just throws these curves and we have to deal with them, but he has a grandmother who has dementia. I mean, great, he has a grandmother that has lived a good long life. That's great to get dementia. Then he has a mom who can't take care of herself. Why would you put him on a show and fix him up with somebody? He needs to be with somebody who kind of knows what they're getting. So I think this is putting Lindsay at an unfair advantage because she really is not going to really get to know her husband in the way that a woman wants a husband to leave his mom and cleave to her and put her first, because he has these other people he has to consider. So why did they put him on the show? You're setting her up for failure because she might be a caring person. But, and I know people might say, well, they're older. There's a chance that could happen. You could be younger. There's a chance that could happen. But why, experts, why are we putting them together? Why are we doing this to her? Even if she's a nurse, a doctor, she may do that on her job, but when she comes home, that's not probably what she wants to do. She wants to drink and lay around and drink some more. And she has a right to do that. I'm not judging her for drinking. She's an adult, and she has a right to do that. But why did the experts put her on a show with a man like that? All right, so you see the picture has moved. And so we're now with Noy and Steve. Okay, what do we know about Noy? She's 33 and is known in her group of friends as being the one who loves easily and freely, and it has admittedly gotten her into some trouble in the past. She is choosing to go on the Married at First Sight journey because she's tired of being let down. She trusts that the experts will have her best interests at heart. More than she does? No. Throughout his life, Steve, 38, has had incredible examples of healthy, happy marriages. Recently, he found out his grandparents, who have been married for 60 years, had an arranged marriage. After witnessing so much love and happiness, marrying his future wife at first sight does not scare Steve. He is very hopeful that the experts will be able to find him a match who will make him as happy as his grandparents are. I'm assuming his grandparents. All right, so let me get my stuff together here. All right. Beautiful couple. Again, looked like they could have found each other just in life without help from these experts. Experts. I'm an expert. I'm an expert at love. Because I understand that you don't supposed to expect a whole lot of stuff, this imaginary stuff. I'm an expert. So, what do we have to say about them? I think the thing that is promising for this couple is that they both are familiar with arranged marriages. They're from cultures, because they may be of different cultures. I know his parents are different races, and then her parents are the same from us country. But they are aware of arranged marriage. So that's it. I think that they can make it, but because they probably are Americanized, they may not make it. Because of course I thought Johnny and Bao could make it, because of course they were from societies where arranged marriages were perhaps a norm, and traditions. They remember their traditions. Like Noy, as we'll see, she'll introduce some of her traditions of marriage into the ceremony. And now, I guess if anything would be said about this couple is Steve doesn't have a job. But this isn't the first time that they've had a cast member who doesn't have a job. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that cast member, did he end up being the one that ended up marrying a doctor that was an expert? I'm not going to go and research that. But I know they did have a guy on there before that did not have a job. And yes, the wife did have a problem with that. Yet this guy and that guy, they'll be able to get a job. I mean, this guy, at least he has the excuse of COVID, and then he does some freelance. And my thing is, okay, if this guy who has a degree, I like to say who's degreed, and an engineer, he'll get a job, he'll invent something and make lots of money or something. And guys tend to, he probably has a whole lot of money saved, because he just went on this trip around the world and living his best life, doing whatever he wanted to do. And if he's an engineer in sales, now engineer salespeople, I could be wrong, because I know my pastor he did that job, and he's a pastor now, so he doesn't have to do that job. But he probably has a lot of money saved, so he's probably going to be able to be okay. I'm not stressing this one. I think they can make it because they both want to be here. This won't be the first time I've been wrong, especially when it comes to Married at First Sight. So we'll see what happens. But I like him, and I like her. I like him. And they're opposites, because she seems like she might be kind of artsy, and he's kind of intellectual. So Sometimes that works, even if you don't have married at first sight help. Okay. Oh, I pushed the wrong arrow. So now, here we go. Where are we? Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina is 29, knew early on that she had a passion for children, so she dove into her career helping local youth at an early childhood education as an early childhood education teacher, to witnessing many failed relationships in her family involving infidelity, and having gone through the same in her past relationships, she has done the work and healed from her trauma. She is truly ready to settle down and hand off the reins to the experts. Really? Michael, who's 28, has tried all the dating apps, but with no substantial results. A heart-to-heart conversation with his sister led him to sign up for Married at First Sight because he wants a wife and a family, but hasn't been able to make it happen on his own. Michael trusts the experts and can't wait to see the magic they create for him and finding his perfect match. Well, look, let me just tell you something. Michael, they did some magic via the Lord because she is beautiful. And Jasmina, I'm not saying he's ugly because he's handsome. You all make a beautiful couple. Why won't y'all ask what's going to happen that's going to make you two get divorced? Beautiful couple. I'm trying to think of an ugly couple Married at First Sight. I can't think of one. Maybe you all can, but I can't think of an ugly couple because they usually do a pretty good job at picking pretty people and people who are successful. And what I didn't know, but found out, they do not pick people who have children. And that's a good thing because you don't need to bring children into the dynamic. Now, these people look like they're responsible people. She's a teacher. How more responsible? Early childhood teacher. How you can't get any more responsible than that. We find out he's like a trainer. And if he's able to bring bread and butter and feed himself and look as good as he is looking, he's making some money training some folks. So we know he has discipline. So, I mean, it sounds like all the good working of a great relationship. Except for those folks that they know. Well, in particular, the folks she knows. Okay, let's move it along. I ain't got a lot to say about them. Alyssa and Chris. She's 30, devotes her time to rescuing animals all over the world, leaving little room for dating. Her last relationship ended in heartbreak, but she didn't know how unhappy she was until it was over. Alyssa truly believes that Married at First Sight is her opportunity to find love, and she thinks the experts will be able to break her streak of bad luck and find her the man she's been searching for. I've been searching for one like you. You know, I can't sing, so I ain't going to even try to do that. Y'all got to pay me to sing. Okay, Chris is 35. Has had back-to-back long-term relationships since he was in high school. He needs the experts' help finding a match because he's learned that in his relationship thus far, he and his girlfriends are incompatible once the honeymoon phase ends. He has hopes of the matchmakers will be able to find him a woman who will keep his interest long term. Dating apps are just not getting the job done. I just don't understand this dating app thing. I just have met a lot of people. I'm married and I still meet people that I'm not messing with, but I'm just saying, people who are interested. So I don't know why you all need apps. Now, if this girl doesn't look like just a cute little fawn with them skinny little long legs that are short really, but she just know how to make them stretch with that little short dress. Now, they're about as odd as an odd couple will get. But all I can say is if he has a lot of money, he'll keep her. Is that bad to say? Is that wrong? Is that impolite? And that's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say is she is really... dang, I haven't used this terminology on somebody in a long time, so I'm trying to think of it. She is all about perception, looks, money, lifestyle. It's another word, but I can't think of it right now, but I'll remember it. But you know what I'm saying. She don't care nothing about nothing except how you look, and you better have a lot of money with it to take care of her, to Keep her looking good. Okay. Now, the last person, they didn't have a picture at the time. I could find you a picture, but they didn't have a picture at the time. It was Katina and Elijah Wan. And I was like, this better not be the basketball player Elijah Wan, which it was, what was his name? Akeem Elijah Wan. But it says, Katina is 29 and has spent the last 2 years of a self-love journey. She has been focusing on herself and has grown spiritually. She's always dreamed of being a wife and mother, but has struggled to find the right partner. Katina is ready for marriage at first sight. Believe the process works. She wants to grow with somebody. And Elijah Wan is 29 and admitted former playboy. After enjoying this period of his life, he realized he was lonely. He wants a partner who he can share his life with in hopes of having a family of his own. Elijah Wan went to college with Jeff Day. You know, he was from another season. Oh, he acted up real bad. So right there, I just don't have a lot to say because, yeah, he and Shawnee's, they're doing a whole lot better now and they got the baby, but he acted up so bad in this episode that if I have to hear anybody that knew him or compared to him, I don't even have words. All I'm going to say is, this is him, Elijah Wan, and that's Katina. Beautiful, handsome, no reason why they shouldn't make it. Let's see if they will. And that's all, folks.